How you all doing? Hope you're all okay. You've not heard from me for a while. I've had 3 weeks without being able to get fishing, you know, work commitments and other bits and bobs I've had going on, so I've not been down for a while, so I'm a bit out of touch with the lake, to be fair. I had a word with a couple of the guys as I've driven in, and there's odd fish getting caught, but it seems to be all the stockies at the moment. The bigger fish are kind of being a bit elusive, but I've come down into the big bowl at the bottom end of the south end of the lake, but I'm not where I normally fish. I'm fishing this little bay. As you can see, the wind's cutting into it, and when the wind's chopping in here, I always have a look, and I just put my waders on as I drove past, and I walked down into the reeds and just had a sneaky look without spooking anything, and I seen 3 or 4 fish there. What got me heckles up was none of them were stockies, and of course I've put 2 rods on the spot, and both the rods have gone, and both, yeah, stockies. But I'm hoping I haven't spooked them, so I've done another PVA bag. I'm just fishing switch, little bag of switch boilies, a little bit of switch pellet, and a single switch pop up on the hook. So nothing fancy, just a little bag of food, a little bit of attraction, and let's hope we haven't spooked the bigger fish that are here. Right, good morning. Yeah, welcome to base camp 2. Last night was a bit of a stocky fest, unfortunately. I kind of thought that might happen. I did see some big fish in that bay, like I said, but I think when I started catching the stockies, I think they pushed out, and I'm pretty sure they went off to my left because I'd kind of seen some backs coming out the water. So yeah, that's that one gone. But we moved this morning. I actually moved right down to the north end of the lake this morning. Had a look. This wind has changed. Oh, hey up. We got a bite? Oh yeah, we got a bite. Hang on, guys. We'll go sort this out. Right, well, I was just telling you what's been happening, and we was interrupted by this one. Nice mid-double common. So another one of the stockies, of course, but not a lot you can do about that. So yeah, I moved into this swim. You can go back. So yeah, I moved into this swim because as I was stood at the bottom end, I seen a big one stick its head out. So it's all I've got to go on at the moment. I'm not really seeing a lot. The guys are telling me it's not been fishing too good, so if I've seen a big one, you know, that's all I can do. So we've popped the rods on it, and I think that's the 3rd stocky I've had out of this swim, so it's not been that hectic this morning. So yeah, we'll just persevere down here unless I see something else to go on. Right guys, we've moved swims again, yeah. Not just them stockies I had earlier this morning, which you saw me get one of them, and just nothing happened, and the wind's turned, which it was planned to do, but originally it just had a bit messy about wind, what I like to call them, where it's not sure what it's going to do, but it's turned northerly now. Well, it's northwesterly now, but it's going to go northerly a bit later on tonight. So northerly wind and the fish haven't spawned, there's only one place I'd want to be, and that's down in the bowl. So I'm almost where I started. I'm not as deep into the bowl, I'm a little bit further up. So yeah, I'm in a swim called Popular Point, and yeah, it offers some shallow water, does this swim, and it's a swim I've not managed to get in this year so far. So I've come down here, I've not done anything yet. It's 5 o'clock, so it's kind of like that in-between time, not a lot happening yet, but because the wind's blowing down here, I think the fish are going to push in. I think, remember, by 8, 8:30, we're going to start seeing a few heads roll, and I can set my traps accordingly. So I'm making this spod mix now. This is a mixture of Switch and S7, but these baits are salt cured. I cured these in October. They've just been sat in rock salt all winter, so just something a little bit different. So I'm just going to crush them up. I'm going to put some pineapple spod syrup on them, and put 2 or 3 spods on each rod. It's high pressure at the moment. Well, we're just coming out of low pressure into high, so I'm not going to feed them loads of food. Just maybe 3 or 4 medium spoms over each rod. And yeah, sometimes it's just the little changes, you know, maybe a little bit of rock salt in the bait, or just little things sometimes, little percentages that can sometimes give you the edge. So like I say, I'm going to see what happens to this swim. I'm expecting to see a few tonight, and fingers crossed we'll get it right and get one. Right, that's more than enough bait for tonight, so I'm going to give this a good dousing in this is the pineapple hydrospod syrup. That's more than enough for tonight. Obviously, if the fish start picking me up, I can soon mix some more up, but that's more than enough for tonight. Like I said before, I don't want to give them loads of bait. Give this a good shake and we'll get the spod rod out. Right, so when I signed off last time, I'd moved into Popular Point. The wind had turned and I expected the fish to move down. I was all confident and didn't see a thing. 50-50 and I got it wrong. I should have stayed up the north end of the lake. That area did fish. I sat on a blank, so that it can happen. You know, I made the choice of what I saw, what I was seeing, what I thought was going to happen, and sometimes you get it right, and on that occasion I got it wrong. So that session's done and gone. I've come back tonight. I'm only on for one night. I've got to go home in the morning, so all I've done is I've found some fish and I've just thrown bags at them. It's all I can do. I haven't got time to like doing laps of the lake and pre-bait areas and do all that type of stuff. Just haven't got time for that. It's going to be a real opportunist night tonight. So what I've done is I've come into, I'll show you the swim in a second, I've come into a really nice little area that I've not got on film before, to be honest. This is the boat in Lake Bay. It's on the, hang on, let me think, it's on the west side of the lake, and basically Girton Lake is behind me this way, but on that side, that's the big lake, that's the boating lake, and so this is why we call it the boating Lake Bay. There's 2 swims on it, and there's a decent wind pushing in it. I've seen a handful of fish roll. 1 or 2 of them look like they could have been 20s, so it's all I needed to see. That, you know, like I said before, I haven't got time to mess about, so I've just put bags on obvious spots, 2 bags on the showers, and a couple of spots that I've fished before from this swim that you get a good drop on, and I know I've had bites off it before. So that's all I've done. Handful of bait over each rod. I'll be honest, I'm expecting a bite, but if I get a decent one, that'll be lucky, but a bite will probably happen out of this swim tonight. Right guys, I said I'd show you this lovely little bay that I'm fishing, and here we go. Let's give you a little bit of a tour of this swim. That pole there isn't for fish, that is so I can hold on to it while I'm going in the water and I don't go arse over tit, as they say, which I've done more than once on this lake before. Immediately, an obvious spot is that reed line there where you can see that pylon. that spot there, that's where the fish have been showing. They do get in there, I've seen plenty in there, and they get underneath these trees. I'm not going too tight to them trees, guys, because there is snags in there, and if I hook a fish, the last thing I want to be doing is wading out there and taffling it up and all the rest of it. So yeah, I've kept well into open water, and if I do get a bite, I'm on the rod fast. They shouldn't be a problem for me. Okay, so that's the reed line going to the left, and then the other swim is tucked away in that corner. So there's only 2 swims in this area, so you get plenty of water, and as you can see there, the pylons go across, so you are limited to casting distances, but I've never felt the need to cast long out of here. It's all close in work. So basically I've put 2 spots there, one only about a rod length out and one maybe 3 rod lengths out just off the shelf into the deeper water. So both, you know, 2 rods in the same area but certainly in different depths. And down that channel there, I've seen a couple of shows down there as well, so I don't think it'll be long before they get onto my bait. Whether there's any big fish here or not, well, that's a time will tell thing. I've not seen anything big, but like I say, I've seen a couple of fish that could have been 20s. So I'm going to get my tee on and just see what happens. Okay guys, so I got some bites out of this swim as expected. Unfortunately none of the big ones slipped up for me, but this is the last fish because I'm just about ready to pack up now. So yeah, all the young fish, all the new ones unfortunately on this trip, but it's not a problem, is it? I've had a nice night, I've enjoyed a lovely sunset, and we caught a few fish. You can't catch the big ones every time, can you? So we'll put this one back. I've only got the rods to put in the van now, I'm ready for off. Another really pretty Girton stocky. That must be about a dozen I've had on this trip, but there's not a lot you can do about it when they're picking you up, and that's a real pretty one, to be fair. Right guys, so I'm back down at Girton again. Yeah, I've not been down the lake for a while, probably 6 weeks, something like that. I had my France trip in August, which you may have seen my vlog from that, which was, it was a good week but ended in tears. If you watch it, yeah, if you haven't watched it, I lost a big fish, but there you go, these things happen. So yeah, I'm back down at Girton again, and I've started up on the north side of the lake, purely because the wind was blowing in there and I was seeing quite a lot of fish. And now I've moved. They tend to move, that was at tea time, they tend to move out of there on an evening anyway, so I kind of hadn't set up camp properly. It was just a bit of PVA bag work, just caught a few stockies, and then I've had probably a dozen stockies out of this swim. I'm about halfway down the bank in the middle of the lake, not fishing long, only about 60 yards, something like that, and this is the first nice one I've had. This is a 22 pounder, possibly one of the new ones that they've put in. Yeah, this is the first nice one of the trip, although the stockies are nice, but you know, we like to catch the bigger fish, of course. So this is the first proper one of the trip, or what I'd like to call a proper one. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning now, and I can fish till tea time, and I'm getting regular bites, and just like it was before I left the lake. During the latter part of spring, it's just a question of getting through the stockies and just keep doing that. and eventually you get a nice one. Okay, so we'll get this one back. Lovely 22-pound mirror. Might be the fish of the trip yet, but we'll see. Like I say, I've got about 6 hours fishing left on this one before I need to get off and get onto the motorway. But yeah, lovely fish, and it was worth getting through them stockies. So this was what I've mentioned it before actually. This was on a PB popper. What I tend to do is I match the hatch through the night. Go on, mate. And then I switch to a fluoro during the day. It just seems to get you more bites. You know, if I leave rods on and I match the hatch bait, yeah, I still get bites during the day. But if I change it to a fluoro, it's kind of like instant. You know, that one wasn't out like half an hour and it's gone off. So I definitely think during the day fluoros is the key. And then, like I say, during the evening or through the night, you know, go on to match the hatch, because I put quite a lot of S7 in this swim. I'm probably done 5 kilos in this, like just overnighter, so I'll put a fair bit in for an overnighter. Another one of these chunky stockies. This one probably must be pushing 15 or 16 pound, this one, if not maybe a little bit more. Real deep bodied fish. So yeah, they keep biting. Right, so we're moving into the back end of the summer now. It's 20th of September today, and I've just come down for an overnighter. Got to go back to work tomorrow dinner time. So yeah, I mean, my fishing, obviously I did that big stint in the spring where I had that like mega successful period. I had 2 of the big ones out of this lake, and I always kind of in my head thought the summer I was kind of not leave it alone, because I've been coming down bits and bobs, but I've had my friend's trip, and then I've had, you know, a family holiday, you know, away with my wife and what have you. So it's been bits and bobs. I haven't really kept in touch with the lake properly, but we're kind of moving into that period where I kind of think there's a chance of getting the final big one out of this lake. There's 3 big, if you don't know the lake, there's 3 big ones, and I've been, you know, really fortunate enough early in the season during the spring to have Measles and Tutti, but the bigger one of the 3, the common that's done 61 earlier in the season, that's the one obviously that I'd like to catch now. I mean, I'm being incredibly greedy, and I absolutely appreciate that, but that's carp angling. We are greedy, you know, we want to catch, you know, I'd like to catch the last one of the 3, and I think we're moving into that period that you know, there's the bigger chance where it might make another mistake. You know, knowing the lake before the stockies were put in, you know, there was the commons were once each a season. They've already made more mistakes than that already, so certainly the stockies have had a positive effect on the fishery, because they're feeding like mad, piling the weight on, and as that's happening, the originals obviously there's competition now, and they're taking more chances than what they certainly were doing before. So yeah, we're moving into that period. So I've just dropped on for a night tonight. I can fish till tomorrow dinner time. I've moved on the wind. There's a good northerly pushing down onto this south bank, so I've just I know this swim. This is the swim where I had the big ones from in the spring. So just you know, doing my wraps and hitting my spots. You know, a few spawns of bait over, and I've used the throwing stick, spraying it all over. You know, like a tennis court size area of maybe 40 or 50 single baits. You know, just all over the area. There's fish here. I've not seen anything decent, but there's certainly fish down here, and I know this area's done a few decent fish recently. So yeah, we'll see what the night brings, and I'm just going to go get my tea on and what have you, and just that final little bit of light, just see if we see one of the better fish as we're having our tea. Well, it's time to sign off on this vlog, folks. Unfortunately, nothing but the stock is on this visit for me, and plenty of them, but yeah, it's one of them things. You can't choose which one picks you up. I still think I'm in the right area, but it's just not happened for me, so I'm going to pack the rods down and get myself off. You can go back, matey. So that concludes this vlog, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. It's been a little bit of a frustrating one. I've only had a couple of nice fish from this lake since the big ones that I had in the spring. I haven't been down a lot, to be fair. July and August I didn't fish down here. I was away doing other bits and bobs, but I kind of always thought that the next 6 weeks from now is going to be the period whereby, you know, there might be another chance for one of them big ones. So I'm going to try as best I can, keep coming down, if I can, once a week. Just keep in touch with the place, and you never know. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you on my next vlog.